have like to lift the sheet onto the thing, I have to lift it basically at chest. Like it's, well, mid chest on me to get it up over that. And women typically have less upper body strength. Like my center of mass is so much lower that even for a
Yeah.
man of the same height as me, it's so much more work for me to try to get this huge sheet onto it. I have to figure out alternative ways to pretty much do everything because it's just not designed for me. Or like table heights, like if I'm trying to leverage on down on something, like
Oh,
I have to,
right. Yeah.
it's so much more for me to do that because my center of mass is lower. I'm shorter and I don't have the same upper body strength. Like it's just literally
Right.
everything I do is not designed for me to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the biggest problem is that society was largely started by men and everything was designed by men. I mean, a lot of things are still designed by men.
Right. For women.
So
Things
that's the
for women are
problem.
still designed by men. I feel like
Right.
that's why women's
Yeah.
clothing is so fucked up because men designed it all for
Yeah.
a long
And they don't,
time.
like, some of them don't listen
Right.
either. It's like you can say, like, your coworkers, like, you can say, hey, this is for me and I can't do this with your design. And they're like,
Right.
whatever. That's the problem. Yeah. I think because I'm so tall, I'm not as affected.
Right. Well, and I'm not even that short, but like my finger versus a man's finger,
Yeah.
like it's just different. And I do have like pretty small hands comparatively to my height, but there's so many things where I'm just like I can't open this. Like I can't punch through that perf. I
Yeah.
can't like get my hand around it to slide it out.
Yeah. Mine's definitely my strength still. Like I don't have any upper body and definitely center of mass. I totally forgot. Like obviously we have different centers of masses
Right.
than between men and women. So,
It makes a
yeah.
difference, especially lifting stuff because it's easier to
Yeah.
lift something below your center of mass.
Yeah. I also think of like temperatures in the office.
I tried to
It's
lobby for
always so
that
cold.
because studies show that women are more affected by too cold temperatures for their bodies than men are for too warm for their bodies. So
Oh,
like it's actually not only is the woman uncomfortable and the men are comfortable, but if the her ability to work is more affected than men's ability to work in a warmer environment where they're a little bit uncomfortable.
right. That's interesting. But I feel like on average men complain more about
They do. Big whiners. God forbid you're
it.
warm. I have a
Right.
space heater at my desk. Like I'm
Yeah.
freezing. I wear a turtleneck sweater to work every single day, year round, because it's too cold. At least you work in a temp controlled environment where
Yes. Yeah.
everyone's uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, we all have the same temperature regardless and the same humidity, so it's like, well, I mean, the offices areas is where it could get really
Yeah,
cold.
I'm always
But
freaking cold.
yeah, I guess good thing I work where I am
Yeah,
because usually it's always nice to me, but
I was always cold in
yeah.
there too.
In
I
there?
like 75.
Oh, sometimes I get
Well,
hot
yeah, if you're
still.
like
It depends.
working, like lifting
Right.
stuff, like in the when I was doing like package testing, it was worse.
Yes.
But then I'd go
Yeah,
back
it
to my
does get hot.
desk and Joe had it cranked down to 68. I'd be dying.
Yeah, that's really cold. That's where I like sleep with like a blanket.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess to wrap it up, like people tend to not think about things that they've never experienced themselves, like unless they hear it from someone else. So like the biggest takeaway from the book in my mind is that you need to include someone from each perspective that will be affected by a design change or like inputting a system. And you should really build it with everyone's input, not just one group of people's input. And also, you should believe people when they say what life is like for them, like what their experiences are. Like, it is easy to discount because you're like, oh, I've never seen that, or I don't know, but you should really listen to someone because they typically have experienced different things from you, and it's good to include that in your designs. Well, that's the end of this episode. The book was our main source, so that will be linked in the description. We would appreciate it very much if you rate us on the podcast platform you're using. We also have Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok all under Let's Be Briefed if you'd like to follow us there for updates. We also have an email at letsbebriefed@gmail.com if you have topic suggestions you'd like us to cover. And we now have a Patreon where you can support us if you so choose. We will be expanding the tier options as we expand our audience. Until next time, stay briefed.